funk. Thoughts deep, boys steeped in the depths that he sunk. Big stress, depressed in the middle of fall. Sky gray, I lay in the thick of it all. I wonder, how long can a human survive just staying alive or carrying the rest of the tribe? Waiting for the day to arrive or struggling dies, and I be doing way, way more than getting by. So why? Got myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, got myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Eyes realize life is so much more than just living the day. Every day I can sit and reflect and breathe and connect to myself and know that I've been given. See, giving up is not an option. So when I'm looking at gray skies, I'll be adopting a new way to deal with a test. Lord, relieve me of stress, to bring me looking like when blessings drop in. And so I got myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, here we go. Yeah. Let's do this. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. In times of test, let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Test. Let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Woo.
Well, shoot, appreciate that a whole lot. Appreciate the whole lot. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Happy Tuesday. I'm Urban. Appreciate y'all tuning in to this podcast today. Hope y'all having a great Tuesday so far. Me, like I always said, I always be about business. But when I finish take care of business for us, you know what I'm saying, professional wise, I always enjoy coming over here and entertaining y'all YouTube wise. So I enjoy it a whole lot. Yeah, I actually be looking forward to one coming over here and just be sharing with y'all my different perspectives about different topics. Sure do. Appreciate it a whole lot. Appreciate it a whole lot. Appreciate it. But yeah, tonight we got a show that I'm going to share with y'all today. We're still going to be covering the topic about Sade Robinson. Those of y'all who haven't watched my podcast from the other night talking about Sade Robinson, by all means, check the video out. It is up right now. You can catch the replay of that video. All right. So tonight we're going to continue on talking about that, right? But we're going to talk about it from a different perspective this time. Okay. Because on last night's show, we was talking about, in general, everything that happened to her in general, and how the way we felt about that. Then we was talking about the beta male that did that to her.
Beta!
Yeah, so we was talking about that and talk about how we felt about that, and we was giving our, personal perspectives and different analysis based on that during beta.
Beta!
Mm-hmm. And so tonight, we're kind of not going to talk as much about this dude, but he is going to be referenced in this, okay? He's going to be referencing this because we're going to be covering a different perspective tonight about this whole situation, all right? So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the show. Make sure everybody that's coming into the stream, make sure you hit that like button on your way in. They do help the channel out a whole lot. Appreciate everybody who on the one watching the live right now, and appreciate everybody who is going to catch the replay of the stream as well too, and everybody who's watching in the bushes. All right. So tonight's show, we're gonna talk about this. Through my further research on this particular topic with Sade Robinson, right, and the thing that happened to her, I had came across a very, very, very interesting conversation. The conversation that I came across was the whole point of biracial dating, okay? Once again, the conversation came across about biracial dating. There's a name that the Black Manosphere and the Red Pill community, or the Manosphere period, or the Red Pill period, they have a certain name for people who date biracial, especially the Black Manosphere. The name that they came up with is swirling, but another name that they came up with is called being divestors. Okay. What does it mean by being a divestor? A divestor is simply this. A divestor is a group of women who decided that they no longer wanted to date black men, period. The reason why they don't want to date black men, period, is because based on different traumatic experiences, there are very few of them will only want to, who do not want to date black men on preferences, but majority of them, to my understanding, also through my research, is based on traumatic experiences that they had with black men. These type of traumatic experiences include toxic behavior, narcissism, allegedly abusive behavior as well too, and all these different other type of traumatic things that they dealt with. So they decided to no longer invest their time, energy, money, resources, their bodies, all that, to dating black men. So they are what the Manosphere and Rare Peer community call as divestors. Okay. So this conversation was coming about black women being divestors to black men. But before we get deeper into this, y'all, I do want to share this update with what happened with Sade Robinson. All right, and I got another video that I want to share with y'all. And give us a more detailed update on this. All right, so let's go ahead and review this video.
He's a Milwaukee bartender now at the center of an investigation into a severed leg. 12 News Investigates is learning more about Maxwell Anderson, including what law enforcement sources tell us they found in his basement.
Anderson has not been charged. At the same time, 19-year-old Sade Robinson has been missing for 10 days.
Police say she was last seen April 1st with her burnt car later found near 30th and Lisbon.
This past weekend, investigators discovered human remains near 31st and Galena over 3 consecutive days.
Now, this is the second place a body part was found in Milwaukee County in a week. That severed leg was found in Warnemont Park in Cudahy on April 2nd.
12 News' Hannah Hilliard is live outside Anderson's home near 39th in Oklahoma. And Hannah, you've been looking into his past all day long.
Yeah, Joyce and Patrick, and we have uncovered a lot, including Anderson's ties to Waukesha County and what sources are telling us investigators found inside this home exactly 1 week ago. This is the man behind bars, but not yet charged.
In the interest of Maxwell Stephen Anderson.
Appearing in court in connection to a case that's captivated Milwaukee. Who is Maxwell Anderson? We know he's a Southside resident whose house at 39th in Oklahoma was searched by investigators 2 days after someone found a severed leg on the Lake Michigan shore in Cudahy. 12 News has confirmed the 33-year-old man has ties to Waukesha County, attending Kettle Moraine, Catholic Memorial, and Pewaukee High Schools in the early 2000s. Anderson has a criminal record, a 2014 misdemeanor disorderly conduct conviction in Waukesha County after an incident with a family member in Delafield.
Wow, this dude has a disorderly conduct. Wow. I told y'all this dude's a beta.
Beta!
I told y'all.
Beta!
But let's continue.
And in 2015, a misdemeanor domestic violence case out of Door County.
So he had 2 disorderly conduct and domestic violence cases.
For the last few years, he's worked at several Milwaukee bars.
He works full-time,
including the Rave from 2018 to 2020, most recently working at Victor's nightclub on the east side. A woman who claims she met Anderson there spoke to 12 News by phone, but asked not to be identified out of fear for her safety. She says he once invited her to his Southside home.
I remember there being something about a hole in the yard, and this was back in fall. I remember asking about it, and he was like, oh, I'm building a garden.
In a view from News Chopper 12,
All right, that looks like a hole there, actually.
a gaping hole next to Anderson's house was visible earlier this week. Inside the home,
And when I got in, it just kind of seemed like he was in the middle of a whole bunch of renovations, but kind of seemed like the kind of guy that never would finish them.
Thursday, 12 News learned from multiple law enforcement sources Anderson had what is described as a sex dungeon.
Answers and some closure in a gruesome murder mystery that's gripped the Milwaukee area for more than a week now. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jessa Brycebeck.
And I'm Amanda Porterfield. This morning, Maxwell Anderson was charged with murdering and dismembering 19-year-old Sade Robinson. The charges link 2 stories we've been covering for more than a week. The missing woman, Robinson, and body parts discovered in several locations throughout the city and county. Prosecutors now say at least 2 of those body parts are Sade Robinson's, and officers are looking for more of them.
All right, so when we did the show the other night, we discovered that they only found 1 body part of her, which is her leg. So now they have found another body part, and they're still looking for the remainder body parts of the remainder of her remains. All right.
We have team coverage for you tonight of this breaking news. CBS 58's Taj Mahal and Bryant McRae will have details on the investigation, but we start with Adam Reif live from Anderson's Southside home, breaking down the new information tonight. Adam.
And this home is where prosecutors say Maxwell Anderson killed Sade Robinson after the 2 went on a date last Monday. A few blocks away is where Anderson was taken into custody a few days later. In moments, you will see new video of that arrest in progress. Now, this case is bringing into light the story that has simmered in the shadows for days. While a concerned family was looking for a missing woman, body parts were turning up all across the city of Milwaukee. And now we We have more information on why.
Sick son of a hurt my baby.
Sheena Scarborough did not hold back.
Sick son of a gonna pay.
Her hatred for Maxwell Anderson was evident from the moment her daughter's alleged killer walked into the courtroom.
Beta!
Showing up, salute, welcome. And welcome everybody else who are tuning into the One Street right now. Right now, what we're doing, we're revisiting this whole situation with Sade Robinson and this whole beta male right here, but we're going to dive into an even deeper discussion, okay?
Prosecutors say Anderson and Sade Robinson went out to 2 restaurants and bars the night of April 1st, then returned to Anderson's home on South 39th Street. They say at some point that night, Anderson killed Robinson, dismembered her body, then drove her car around while he scattered the body parts in various places.
The allegations in the complaint are abhorrent. It is the highest level of violence imaginable.
Anderson also did Sade's car and lit it on fire. He spoke just once during Friday's hearing.
Do you understand the maximum potential penalties?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anderson's attorney first tried to get the homicide charge thrown out.
And there's nothing in here that says that she died at Mr. Anderson's home.
Sade's mother again lashed out.
So I'd ask you to dismiss that count before we address.
Anderson's attorney then alluded to Anderson being innocent.
Had Mr. Anderson been involved in this horrible tragedy, we would expect one to flee.
But bail was ultimately set at $5 million.
Hold up, so his defense attorney sitting up here trying to get this dude off, sitting up here saying that Sade didn't die in his residence. Oh my goodness. He even got a better attorney.
Beta!
Sade's family had been searching for her ever since her disappearance. Authorities used phone records, surveillance video, and home security video to close in on Anderson. He was arrested Thursday, April 4th. Friday brought some answers for the family, but also more questions.
Who the do something like this to my beautiful baby? She hurt nobody.
And little closure.
Me and my family would never be okay. Imagine trying to bury your niece with no body for the service.
And prosecutors say there are still missing body parts as they continue to look for all the human remains from Sade Robinson. Maxwell Anderson will return to court 1 week from Monday.
Now, I wanted to share this news story with y'all, just to give you an update on the case, to let y'all know what's currently going on with it. But at the same time, this is going to be the main focal point of what we're going to talk about today about this, all right? So today, we're going to want to talk about the Black Manosphere and the Red Pill. So the Black Manosphere and the Red Pill communities, they actually blame Sade Robinson Deletion on being a divestor. Now, those of y'all who didn't catch the very beginning of what I was saying, and I repeat it to you. In the Black Manosphere and Red Pill community, right? They call Black women who don't want to date Black men, they call them swirlers, right? But they also call them divestors. There's actually a huge community of Black women who literally have divest from Black men, where they feel like due to the toxicity of Black men that they no longer wanted to date Black men, period. All right. Out of this group of divesting women, right, it's only a very small percentage of them are literally dating men outside their race because of preference, okay? Very few of them, all right? But majority of them are dated because of their traumatic experience with Black men. So therefore, that's why the Black Manosphere and Red Pill community call them divestors, okay? So today in this conversation, we're going to talk about this because I was going through here and I was listening to different content creators. I was listening to different people on TikTok and everything, and they kept mentioning about this story about Sade being a divestor. All right. So one thing I want y'all to consider. All right. So this is on Sade's mother. Okay. It's to my understanding that Sade's mother is a divestor. Okay. Now, Do I know this as being a fact? I have no idea, but this is the conversations that the Black Manosphere and the Red Pill community are having. They're saying that Sade's mother was a divestor, meaning that she either dated a white man or she probably even married a white man. You know what I'm saying? But I have no idea. I don't have 100 facts on that. Okay, I didn't even go through the process of even trying to research that because, to be honest, it was kind of irrelevant. Okay, but I just wanted to put it out there to y'all because this is the whole focal point of that argument. So they're saying due to her mother being a divestor, that caused her daughter to also be a divestor as well too. Okay, so due to her daughter being a divestor, she ended up her going out on a date with this white man, and ultimately this white man ended up deleting her. All right. So I want y'all to listen to this so y'all can understand where I'm coming from about this divesting thing. Let's listen to what this lady had to say.
Quiet enough that our lives are not worth protecting? Is that what you're...
Yes, that's exactly what they're telling us.
Now listen, her whole beginning of the argument is she believed that black men do not want to protect black women. Now, I did a whole show talking about this on almost like months ago, talking about how the way black women feel like that black men don't protect them. And I told y'all from different point of views that there are different reasons behind it. First of all, it depends on the type of one black man that you're talking about. If you're talking about these little betas that are out there, then these betas is not going to protect you. They're not. They're not going to protect you, period. Because it's not in their nature to do that. But if you're talking about true, wholesome, real men out there, especially black men out there who really do care about their black women, they're going to protect you. But another point that I made when I did that show was that there are many black women out there who really don't want black men to protect them because they divesting from them. Or they are part of this alleged 4B movement. You know what I'm saying? Where they don't want to have nothing to do with black men whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? So, but listen to this again.
Quiet enough that our lives are not worth protecting? Is that what you're...
Yes, that's exactly what they're telling us, which is why I tell black women we should be divesting our energy in the black community.
So she said that, yes, that is absolutely true. Black men don't want to protect you, sisters, and the sisterhood. So you should absolutely divest from the black community, period, because you're not going to get nothing out of it, because every black man in the black community is not going to protect you. They don't want to protect you. Okay. So I want y'all to want to consider this as well too. That means that every black man, that means that ladies who are watching right now, that means that your sons is not going to protect a black woman. That means your uncles, that means your fathers, that means every black man on the face of this planet is not going to protect black women. That's what she's talking about.
Focusing on ourselves. But if that's too callous, you can focus on supporting black women and black queer folks. Also,
she said this. She also said, like, hey, if that doesn't suit your fancy, right, just go ahead and be a divestor, go into these other communities, right, and find your husband in these other communities. You can always go into the LGBT community.
That's bullshit.
You can always go into the LGBTQ community and you're guaranteed to find somebody or find a woman there. No, ma'am. But let's continue.
Supporting black women and black queer folks. Also will always say the name of Oluwatoyin Salau, who was raped and unalived by a female after spending the day protesting the murder of George Floyd.
And see, here's another thing too. Remember what I said earlier, that the reason why these type of unsaid women, the reason why they do that is because it's based on their traumatic experience with dealing with a certain type of archetype of black men. Notice that right after when she got through talking about divesting and even encouraged women to be part of the LGBTQ community, she ended her argument by saying that, hey, this woman here was raped by a black man. Now, my rebuttal on this is that, first of all, I do not support anything dealing with a beta male doing this to a woman, period. I don't support that, period. I do not support that. That is very toxic. That is negative. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. But at the same time, her and these other type of women who are part of this divested community, they need to understand this and understand as well that not every black man has the same type of said behavior. We don't. We don't have the same behavior. We don't. I myself, and I know a lot of sound mind black men who never raped a woman ever before in our life and will never would do something like that, period. So the reason why is because we have too much common sense not to do something that stupid to end up literally ending your life. We won't. But you have these betas out there.
Beta!
They'll do it. Absolutely. So we can't be set up here grouped into the same category as these old toxic beta male that y'all be trying to chase after. Let's be real about it. But this is the argument, what they're talking about in this divesting community, okay? And this is part of the reason why the Black Manosphere is having this argument as well too, that they are blaming divestor, these type of divesting women. They're blaming them, these women, for encouraging them to go over into this other community without them going out and proper vetting these dudes. They go into these other communities, these white communities or Asian community, whatever they want to do, right? They go over there and thinking that just because a person color of a skin is going to make that person be a good person. When that is not true, that is wrong. Behavior is behavior. It don't matter about your race, your creed, your color. Behavior is behavior, period. Yeah, I'm just saying. Here's another one clip that I want y'all to consider as well too.
I went into college with zero experience with men, and it really backfired on me. Not only did I grow up in a strict African household, I also grew up in very white spaces. So I never really explored a romantic side in my life. That was just never an option for me, never in the cards. Since then, I have gotten myself in a bit of a situationship with two people, and one of them is a white guy and one of them is a black guy. Both of them have been equally toxic, so whenever people are like, oh, I'm done dating black guys, I'm done dating white guys, all men are the same.
Notice what she said. She said, based on their behavior, both of them was toxic as hell. Both of them. Now, we can also argue to say that this young woman, due to the lack of her dating experience, she decided to choose both of these toxic men, for real.
What?
She did. She decided to choose both of these men. She decided to give both of these toxic men her time. But let's continue.
Men are idiotic. So whenever people try to compare people, just think to themselves, all men are going to behave the same, they're all going to lie the same, and they're all going to fake you the same. So whenever people try to limit themselves to specific types, granted, you can't control your type, I just always tell people, like, you never know how somebody is going to treat you.
Now, notice that she ended once again saying a type or a preference. And this is part of another argument as well too, where these same type of women, they try to equate being a divestor to preference. Now, notice what I said earlier, it is a very few women who's part of this divesting community is actually dating people of another race due to preference. Okay, there's very few of them are doing that. Majority of them are divesting simply because they had a traumatic experience with a person who was black. And notice what this young lady said. It was simply because she chose that man. She knew that both of these dudes, regardless of the color of their skin, that was toxic as hell. She knew that. Well, she knew that after the fact. Put it to you that way. She knew that after the fact. So these men in the black manosphere in the red pill community, this is the reason why they are saying that due to them hyping this situation up, hyping it up, saying, hey, black woman, these black men, they ain't nothing, they're no good. They're not gonna have you're not gonna get nothing good out of them. You should go ahead and divest and date another person of a different race. And they said that since they hyped it up so much so, a person like Sade was listening to this, right? Listening to this rhetoric and everything, and she decided to give it a try. That one opportunity that she did in her life. All right? But listen to this.
I saw a few black men talking about this story, and they were saying how black women shouldn't date men who aren't black. Because if we do, things like this happen to us. And my thing is, the lesson that black women should learn about this situation isn't don't date a man who isn't black. Number one, never drink on a first date, because a man who's genuinely interested in getting to know who you are doesn't want you to be inebriated the first time he meets you. And number two, don't go back to a man's house after a first date. You don't know him well enough to do that. You are moving entirely too swiftly, regardless of his color.
Now let's break down what she was saying. All right, which both of her points is 100. I agree. When I was out in the dating market, right, I had a certain rule or expectation for myself. And it was not only for the protection of myself, but it's protection of the potential person who I was going out to meet him. The two major rules was that if I'm meeting you for the very first time, we're absolutely not going to no bar or lounge, whatever, to get drinks. Absolutely we're not. That is out of the question. Out of the question. The second thing is what she mentioned as well too. Hey, I'm not pulling up at your house neither after me meeting you for the first time. Nope. No ma'am. Because I don't know what that woman's intentions are. Just like she don't know what my intentions are. I don't know if she's trying to set me up to get me robbed and jump and beat up. I don't know. Or she don't know if I'm trying to set her up into a situation where potentially raping situation could happen. We don't know. So by me being a man, by me being only a man, by me being a leader as well too, when I first get to meet anyone, right, even one night stands, when I meet them, right, we do something simple because I want to get to know you first. We'll simply go out to Starbucks or somewhere where it's a public setting, where there's a lot of people there where we both will feel comfortable. We sure will. Another thing, what I will establish is that on the very first time meet us, right, I do not pick that woman up, period. I tell her to meet me at the location. Straight up facts. Tell her to meet me at the location. Because once again, I don't know what this woman's intentions are, nor she don't know my intentions are. So I want to create a neutral, safe space for both of us. So I tell her, hey, meet me there. Oh, you don't want to pick me up? Nope. Meet me there. Because I'm getting to know you. I am getting to know you. Now, after we done established, a couple of, as I call them, meet and greets, right? Where we meet and greet in and, we doing the whole Dutch thing, right? Where we're both paying for each other meals or whatever, you know what I'm saying? After we do, a couple of us, at least about a week or two of doing that, you know what I'm saying? Then that's when we move to the next phase. Of it. I'm just saying. But let's continue. PMP, I see you in the chat, brother. What's up with it? Salute to you, by the way, man. Salute to you. And make sure y'all hit the thumbs up as well, too, as y'all coming into the stream, y'all. All right, so tonight's show, we are talking about why the Black Manosphere and the Red Pill community blame Sade Robinson on Deletion on Divestors. All right, so we're talking about that. So far, we're understanding what divestors are, which I broke that down to you. Basically, what divestors are, it is a group of Black women who decide to say the hell with Black men. We're only going to date white men or other type of races due to the toxic and traumatic experiences that we had with Black men. But the Black Manosphere, right? The Black Manosphere and the Red Pill community, they have a problem with that. So let's dive down deeper into this, because I want y'all to understand this clearly, or where we getting at with this. And of course, like always, I'm gonna give y'all my overall perspective with all this. All right. So after when she did her video, another person did a response to that. So let's listen to that. Selena, I see you in the chat. Salute, welcome. But let's go.
I saw a few Black men talking about this story, and they were saying how Black women should.
So, point noted, but about 11 years ago, I ended up meeting this white dude. Very nice looking, very funny. We talked maybe about 2 weeks before we actually even went out. So he calls me one day like, hey, can I take you out? I want to take you out to eat. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, he comes and get me. And he's like, oh, man, got to lock out my dogs. I got to go to the shop. Me being me, like, oh, okay. We end up going to the shop. And what's so crazy, I don't even remember. I know what street it was on, but I wouldn't even remember the shop if I said it, because it didn't look like a shop. Well, we end up going to the shop. He shows me where the dogs is, and he put the dogs up. Now, at this point, I'm just looking at the dogs. He's about to go do something. I turn around, he like, y'all, when I tell y'all my heart dropped, I turn around, he like, I don't remember what he had in his hand, so I'm not going to say I know he had something in his hand. What it was, I don't remember. It wasn't like a gun or nothing. But he was like, get down and suck my dick.
God damn! What?
I tell y'all almost.
Hold up. Hold on, y'all. Hold up. Let's hear this again.
But he was like, get down and suck my dick.
That's bullshit.
When I tell y'all.
Hold on, man. Hold up. So she went out with this white dude, right? And she decided to pull up to this dude's house, apparently. She decided to pull up to this dude's house. This dude had a house full of dogs. So I could tell y'all right off the bat that that's an automatic red flag. Automatic red flag. And here's another thing, too. Here's another point that I want to bring out. Why is it that these type of women, right, or these type of allegedly divesting women, right, why do they feel like they're more comfortable of going to a white man's house versus a Black dude's house? Okay, because if it was a Black man, right, I'm pretty sure she probably wouldn't have pulled up over there at all. Period.
What?
I'm pretty sure she would have never pulled up over there. I'm pretty sure she had established boundaries right then and there. Show with them.
God damn.
Show with us. But to me, it seems like since they're part of this divesting community, they honestly believe that these type of men do not have toxic behavior. But as we clearly learned from the other young lady that reviewed, right? The other young lady that reviewed, she was saying that both black men and white men have toxic behavior. So I'm just not understanding that. But let's continue.
Like, get down and suck my dick. When I tell y'all almost I was finna run out there with the dogs. Fuck it. If anybody gonna kill me, I'd rather get eaten by some dogs. Because at that point, I'm like, if I don't suck his thing, he's gonna kill me. If I don't suck his, even if I do suck his thing, he probably kill me. When I tell y'all I was right by the door by the dogs, I'm gonna go out here by the dogs. They just gonna have to chew me the fuck up. He like, oh no, I'm just playing. And I'm like, yeah, after that, bro, drop me off.
So this dude here said, nah, bro, I'm just playing.
Beta!
I'm just playing with you. I'm just playing.
God damn!
So now, after that, she's sitting up here calmly say, nah, drop me out. To be honest with y'all, I don't mean to joke about this, but to be really honest with y'all, I honestly think that if it had came down to it, she had went on to suck that dude thing. I honestly do. Because how the way she's telling the story, it seemed like that she was literally considering it. Like there was an option. If she felt like her life was in danger, it wasn't no question about it. She'll be getting up out of there, period. Regardless of the dollars, regardless of how the way she felt about the dollars, whatever. She'll be trying to get out of there, period. I'm just saying. But instead, she stood there and went on to let this dude get this punchline out to her.
Because, bitch, play with your mama, not me. Because at that point, one thing I dislike about my mom, that I really didn't dislike, but I dislike that she gave us a caring heart. Like, we give everybody the benefit of the doubt.
She said that her mom gave her a caring heart. Now, her mom didn't give her that. That is learned behavior. She noticed that that's something that her mom was doing, and she just mimic it as a child. Y'all remember when I was on telling y'all about this, about your upbringing, right? That we tend to mimic the behavior of our parents, depending on depending on what type of behavior they got going on in their life, whether it's toxic or not. We tend to mimic that type of behavior. That's pretty much what happened. She didn't just give her a gift. This is something she just chose to do. She chose to mimic because she was thinking that it was the right thing to do.
But at that point, oh no. Like, a bitch, play with somebody else. Don't play with me like that. I really thought my life was over. I really thought, like, no matter if I suck it or not, I'm dead. You know what I'm saying? So,
notice she keeps saying it too, if she's sucking or not. I'm telling y'all, she was literally considering doing that. It was probably already on her mind to do it anyway. I'm just saying. But let's continue.
He seen that I was about to run out there with the dogs. He like, oh no, I'm just playing. Like, bitch, don't play with. Why are you playing with me like that? Why would you do that? Why would you play with me like that? Like, at that point, yep. That was the last time I seen a white boy. That was the last time. Yeah, I play with somebody else because I don't play these games. And I was so trustworthy back then, it was ridiculous. I should not have been that. I should have just met him there. But shit, back then I didn't even have a car. But yeah, she telling the truth. Do not drink. Don't smoke. If they want to get to know you, they'll get to know you without you being under the influence.
Which that's once again, that is a good point. Just like I stated earlier, is that one of the main dating rules that you shouldn't have to go out and drink when you first getting to know the person, or none of that. You shouldn't have to drink. You shouldn't have to get high. You shouldn't have to try to go with somebody else on the very first encounter, because that is very dangerous, especially during this day, age, and time. So I agree with her on that. The other part is kind of crazy as hell. I'm just gonna say it.
God damn!
That mother's crazy as hell. But once again, everybody, appreciate y'all tuning in to the show. Make sure y'all hitting the thumbs up as y'all come into the lounge today. We are talking about Sade Robinson, and we're talking about why the Black Manosphere and the Red Pill community, why they feel that her deletion is the result of her being a divestor. Okay, so let me go ahead and address some of these comments in the chat. Address everybody here so far. Selena, appreciate you once again for tuning in. Thank you. So we also got PMP once again in the building. PMP, he said this. He said, never go to a white man's house on the first date off of a dating app. Facts, big facts. And that is period. That is period. Then PMP, he was asking, was she an escort? She kind of sound like an escort, bro.
That's bullshit.
I'm not just saying, she really do. White is right. Then PMP says this, in all seriousness, black man can't protect you if you go to a white man's house on the first date. And I agree with you. I agree. But yeah, let's dive further. Okay. So remember I was telling y'all that I was just going through, the YouTube streets and really the social media period, just really diving deeper into this Sade story, right? I was diving deep into this story, right? Just trying to figure out people's perspective about this, right? And so that's when I started running into the Black Manosphere in the Red Pill community. And that's when they started talking about the divesting. And it sparked my curiosity. So I want y'all to listen to this particular content creator perspective about what was going on with Sade Robinson. This content creator, those of y'all may know who he is, but those of y'all who don't know who he is, this content creator is O'Shea Duke Jackson. Okay, so let's listen to what O'Shea Duke Jackson has to say about this particular situation with Sade.
This is the story of Sade Robinson. You see, she had a high level of curiosity too when she was asked out to a date by Maxwell Anderson, a 33-year-old Caucasian bartender, and she was telling all her friends at her pizza job called the Pizza Shuttle.
Hey, Abria, I see you in the chat. Welcome. Welcome. Appreciate you. Let's continue.
On April the 1st, she was going out that night to go hang out with this guy, but the next day, they called her. That's when people started to get worried, and for good reason. The last person they saw her with was Mr. Maxwell Anderson. Random body parts of an African-American female severed from a body were showing up all across Milwaukee. And unfortunately, we believe that it's Sade Robinson. I want to now turn this into a different, bigger conversation, focusing still on Sade Robinson.
All right, pay real close attention to O'Shea Duke Jackson perspective on this, all right?
As the subject. You do have some sisters out there who will say that black men are violent, black men are not worth dating, and I came across this particular lady just a few weeks ago when she was talking about how her white boyfriend and her just ended their relationship. And she got trolled in the comments, but she said this about her loyalty to white men.
Hey y'all, what it is? I want to talk about two things today. The first thing, okay, so since I made those videos about the guy I was with for 2 months who turned out to be a snow dusty and lied about his finances essentially and basically led me on about a vacation, I've had comments about me leaving him and saying, oh, I thought white men were better. I've had to delete a lot of comments because they were like, oh, I thought white daddies were magically better. Oh, you can't keep a white man, blah, 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 blah. I guess white daddies aren't the best. And all this, and it was black dudes, of course, commenting on those videos of me. And it's like, I didn't even mention in that video. I just mentioned that one particular asshole, okay? And here's what is the most funny thing about all this. It's like black men are so triggered when black women just still don't want to date you. I still don't want to date black men. I'm still divested. I still believe white men are better, okay? Just because this asshole led me on does not mean that
She said that she still wants to divest. She still believes that white men are better than black men. That's what she said. Now, once again, I had stated earlier to y'all that it is only a small percentage of black women who are literally divesting based on preference. Okay? Remember when I say that. It is a very small percentage of these women who are doing that. But majority of them are divesting from black men is because of their traumatic experience based on them choosing these old toxic ass beta males.
Beta!
That's where it boils down to. But let's continue.
in that video. I just mentioned that one particular asshole, okay? And here's what is the most funny thing about all this. It's like black men are so triggered when black women just still don't want to date you. I still don't want to date black men. I'm still divested. I still believe white men are better, okay? Just because this asshole led me on does not mean that he's any doesn't mean that y'all are equal. No, you guys are not equal. Black men cannot take a no.
But the next clip is even interesting.
A lot of black men are dangerous, violent, and they can't take a goddamn no. In general, just can't take a no. Once I told him no to, like, when he was trying to touch me in the car, he stopped. He dropped me home, and I was able to dump him in peace. I got home safely. I was able to tell him, like, this ain't gonna work out, and I blocked his ass. I haven't heard.
Now listen to what she's saying, okay? She compared a black man, right, as being violent, as being dangerous. Now remember the other clips that I was sharing with y'all earlier, right, about these other ladies, right, experiences with both black men and white men. One lady in particular said, "Hey, it is not a race issue. It is a behavior issue, period. It is a behavior issue," and she was pretty much saying, a long story short, that she had chose to date two toxic men. One was black, one was white. And she said at the end of the day, hey, look, both of these archetype of men, regardless of the color of their skin, are toxic as hell. That's what she came down to. But this lady, on the other hand, she, in her mind, she literally thinking that white men are better than black men for us in relationship. And she thinking that they're more superior than black men in relationship due to the behavior, which that is not true. But I hope that she still don't have this mentality, because she's going to be in a rude awakening. And also, I hope that Sade did not have this same type of mentality as well, too, when she went out of the day with this dude, thinking that this dude was just perfect. All right, but let's continue.
No to, like, when he was trying to touch me in the car, he stopped. He dropped me home, and I was able to dump him in peace. I got home safely. I was able to tell him, like, this ain't gonna work out, and I blocked his ass. I haven't heard from him since. He's left me the fuck alone. Let this have been he would have made fake phone numbers to reach out to me, to harass me. He would have probably kept going, if y'all know what I mean, when it came to the inappropriate touching. Okay, he would have been worse. Okay, I've had very bad experiences with black men who just cannot take rejection. I know from firsthand that black men do not know how to take no for a goddamn answer. Okay?
Listen to what she said. She said that throughout her experience, she had dealt with black men who do not know how to take no for an answer. Want to know who she talking about? This is who she talking about.
Beta.
She's absolutely talking about betas.
Beta Bell. Are you close to your father? Not really. Does he even return your call? How?
That's what she's talking about, them beta males. That's what she's talking about. She's not talking about this regular dude, because normal dudes, we know how to take rejection. Because in our mind, that rejection is a blessing to us. That means that you just not the chick that we just gonna mess with. And it's cool. We understand that. On to the next one. But them beta males, they're the ones who are like that. And she kept going after these beta males. She kept allowing these beta males the time and energy until they became toxic. I'm pretty sure she probably dated some beta males too. Them toxic, dusty beta males. I'm pretty sure of it.
Right. So don't tell me that, white men must not be the best. White men, all this comparison, but y'all ain't the same as white men. White men are still better than y'all. I don't give two shit. Okay.
You hear that? White men are not violent, but black men are. But I kind of want to talk about a few situations in which that may not be necessarily true. Maybe she's never heard of Aaliyah Taylor.
He stood up and he told me to bow down, and I asked him why, and he didn't respond.
All right, before they get into detail about Aaliyah Taylor, let me give y'all a quick backstory about her. All right, so Aaliyah Taylor was dating Chad Wheeler. Chad Wheeler was a former football player with the Seattle Seahawks. Okay, let's get your background. And he was pretty much beta male. He's pretty much a beta male too. He's a beta male.
Beta!
But let's continue.
And he just told me to bow down again, and I told him no, and he immediately grabbed my neck, and that's when things began.
Do you recall what happened after that?
When he grabbed my neck, he threw me on the bed, and I remember looking up at him and asking him, "Please stop, Chad, it's me." And I just immediately knew the look in his eyes. That was it. That was it. That was it. That was it.
Yeah, that Aaliyah Taylor was the same lady that got almost beat to death by her white boyfriend, Chad Wheeler. And what about the story of James Michael Patrick, who killed his black wife, Janine Chapman, in Dallas?
And I remember this story too because it made national news. And another thing too, they're gonna mention about these apartments over here in downtown Dallas. Funny story is that when I was single, I actually stayed at some apartments. I think almost how many blocks? Almost like about 3 or 4 blocks away from these particular apartments. Yeah, your boy Urban was bougie as hell staying in downtown Dallas. Sure was. But I remember the story. I remember it. I remember it.
Police say Monday afternoon, officers found Chapman dead in an apartment inside the National on Elm Street in downtown Dallas. Tuesday, the medical examiner confirmed Chapman was murdered. 48-year-old James Patrick was identified as the prime suspect. Her sisters confirm the two were together on and off for 6 years.
Yeah, this guy beat her so bad, she was found unrecognizable. And the same situation goes on with this man, Mr. Maxwell Anderson. He's a 33-year-old guy preying on a 19-year-old woman because he...
Remember when I was telling y'all the other day about this son, I wasn't very sure about his age. And I estimated that he was between his late 20s or mid 30s. So I kind of got it right. He's 33 years old, talking to a 19-year-old. And I also gave y'all my speculation too why he did this. And I got a new theory as well too. My first theory is because he had found out that she was 19 years old. That's my first theory on this, okay? That's my first theory. That he found out that she was 19 years old and she couldn't do the things that he wanted her to do for us, drinking and all the stuff there. He became enraged or whatever. My second theory is this. I believe the second theory is that when he had brought her over, I honestly believe that he was trying to smash that night with this girl. And he found out that she was underage. He was trying to smash this girl. She wouldn't let him. And he ended up deleting this girl's life like a beta male.
Beta!
That's my second theory. But let's continue.
Probably can't get anybody his age. He's not doing very well financially. He has a criminal record. And of course, because he's so-called white, then you know what? We can trust him. But I believe you heard that he had a sex dungeon even inside of his house. And the guy is a killer. And this is what happens. We look at other races as being more trustworthy than our own, and then sometimes these horrific things happen. They don't get enough publicity because there are many stories of white men abusing black women. It happens every year on the internet. I don't see many black women killing white guys, but I damn sure hear the other way around. And so what I want to say is hopefully this family gets the justice that they deserve, but we also must look at, we can't be putting these other groups above our own group for the fact that they're white or for the fact that they're Asian or any other thing. People are people. Sick people are sick people, regardless of race or ethnicity.
Now let me make this point to y'all as well too. All right. Now, me personally, I have no issue with black women wanting to swear and date outside their race. Have no issue with that whatsoever. None. But that is only if that is your said preference. Because we all have certain preferences of a different type of archetypal men and women that we want to talk to. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. If that's your preference, if that's what you really desire to do and that's your preference, do it. No problem. But the problem that I'm having, and the problem that a lot of, especially black men, and we could say this, and black women as well too, is this: when you go beyond the preference and to say that a set race is more superior than another race within dating, that's my issue, and that's the issue that a lot of people have, especially in the manosphere and the red pill community, especially with these women who say that they're divestors as well too. When you making this alleged statement, right, that is very unrealistic and that is unfair. Because basically what they're saying is that me, my sons, your brothers, your uncles, your father, every black man on the face of this planet, even if you're a half-breed, half black, half white, half Hispanic, whatever the case may be, long as you got black blood in you, we want to divest because all of y'all are toxic as hell. That's pretty much what they're saying. It's pretty much what they're saying. And that is a very unrealistic thing to say. That's very unrealistic. Because we know that not all men are like that. We know that. There are plenty of men who are stand-up guys who are never in their mind would even remotely think about doing something that's horrific to women, especially black women, especially, being a part of a DV or trying to grape them and different things like that. They wouldn't even remotely think about that because they know that, especially if these type of men, they got their life together, they don't want to lose all that because of something stupid like that. They don't. Only these damn beta males will sit up here, sacrifice their life, and do something as stupid as that. Only them. I want y'all to listen to another one perspective too, so y'all can understand this point very well. All right. So I was listening to another content creator. This content creator, y'all may be familiar with it, but if you're not, this content creator is named Red Supreme. He is also a red pill content creator, right? So I want y'all to listen to the conversation that he was having on this panel regarding this same topic by Sade Robinson.
What up, John Jay?
Hey, what's up, Red, man? How you doing, brother?
Pretty good, my brother, man. Glad to get you up here, man. What's your thoughts on this divestment movement and black women not saying anything about these stories?
Well, first of all, shout out to you for...
And we're gonna get into that by the way too, by how black women is not, whether black woman divestors is really not saying nothing about that.
For bringing awareness to this particular case. Yeah, it's a shame that the divested community is not talking about it because it doesn't fit their narrative. But if they cared about black women, they would speak up on this, because I'm from a different era where black women would try to game up other younger black women, be like, hey girl, when you go to the club, don't let no man buy you no drink. If he want to buy you one, you go to the bar with him and let the bartender pour the drink, or you don't get in no car without no dude you don't know. And just look at this white dude. Had she talked to him for 5 minutes, more or less, he probably would have revealed who he was. I mean, just look at that dude, Red, man. She didn't vet that guy, and then, you go into a man's house you know nothing about, but it's just hashtag, like David Carroll would say, hashtag long as he white. His white skin covers a multitude of sin, and it's sad, but the divested community, if they really cared about black women, they would speak on this and be like, hey, we don't like black men, but still black women, y'all need to protect yourself with these white dudes, because these white dudes know they ain't stupid. They know these black women throw themselves at them, and most white men know that the penalty for killing a black woman ain't gonna be the same if they killed somebody white or somebody else. That's just...
Now listen to the whole argument behind this. The whole argument is this: they're saying that, hey, if y'all want to divest from us, it is what it is, fine, but let's make this, let's be real about this as well too. Y'all need to be having conversation about these white zaddies as well too that's out there, who be just as violent as the alleged black men that you're talking about. Now, just like I say, with this dude, right? This dude, he could have just deleted Sade and just was done with it. No, it was how the way he did it. He deleted her in the most horrific way possible. This dude was sitting up here thinking that he was on Jigsaw and literally took dismantle her whole entire body. That's what he did. So what they saying is that, look, if y'all going to talk about this, y'all going to talk about doing this divestment stuff, y'all need to be real about it. Y'all need to be talking about the dangers of going after these particular dudes and stuff, thinking that just because they white, that means that it's right. And that's the attitude that they literally think that just because they white, it is right. It got to be right. Instead of vetting them out. Like I always say on this platform all the time that y'all got to vet people out, vet them. But some strange reason they skip the vetting part and think, oh, you're white, so clearly you're not gonna do nothing to me. Wrong answer. Wrong. Real quick, let me go ahead and just comment because I see a couple of things that Abril said too that I want to touch on real quick. Now, Abril, she said this. Urban, did you hear that his daddy is some type of high power professional in the city of Milwaukee, and his dad has lots of money and plans to hire the biggest paid legal team to fight for this? No, I have not heard that. Wow.
Shut your damn mouth.
Wow. That explains why the attorney is sitting up here trying to fight this case. That make a lot of sense. But I did not know that. I didn't know that. But Abril to my allegedly, of course. And then Abril come back and say, if justice is not made for Sade, it's going to be a riot in Milwaukee, allegedly. This is the gossip in the streets of Milwaukee. As it should. And she shouldn't face scrutiny because of her choice. But I do admit I understand the outrage, which, yeah, I agree. Now, see, the thing about it is that it's not, it could be appeared that these men are scrutinizing her, but in reality, they're actually making a very interesting claim. Because once again, we heard different women say that they give these white zaddies a chance. They don't even vet them out. They're just thinking that they're just the one. But when it comes to black men, they'll sit up here and go through this whole process. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Talk about it on the channel all the time. They have this modern day woman behavior where they have these huge requirements for these said black men. They have to have a car. They have to have a house. They have to have a sound mind. They have to have good judgment. They have to have leadership skills. They have to smash us very well. You know what I'm saying? They have to have feminine trait. They have to have all these different unrealistic expectations. But with these white zaddies, they don't give them requirements. They just allow them to be who they are, regardless if they beta males or not.
Beta!
They do. I'm just saying. And yeah, I know about the Jeffrey Dahmer situation. That's why the city probably going to go in a ride if this dude ends up getting off. I agree on that. I agree. Couple more comments. Yeah. Oh, Pimp P. Howard said this. He said she accepts white men as individuals, but black men are the same, which I agree with that. I agree. But let's continue.
None of these stories you ever did, the dude got the death penalty. The death penalty ain't even on the table. But if a black dude kill a white woman, he gonna get the death. That's always gonna be on the table. And I think in this case, he got a chance at parole. I didn't hear him say nothing like life without parole. So, you know, their lives ain't in this system is just not worth as what other women's lives are worth. So it's sad, but they need to speak on it though.
And another thing, John Jay, I wanted to say this. If a black man would have did this, you know how many videos they would have made by now?
Oh, it would have been every 5 minutes, the black man kills black women, and this why you need to divest. And, you know, it would have just been all kind of propaganda.
And what they're saying is absolutely true, by the way. before me prepping for the show, right, I had did my very best to find any type of divesting video talking about this dude, talking about the situation with Sade Robinson. I had did deep. I went on to Twitter. I went on to IG. Of course, went on to TikTok, YouTube, everywhere to see if I could find any type of video of these same said women who are divesting, who are going to talk about this white Zeddy. The only thing I found was videos of them separate talking about the story in general. That's it. That is only talking about the story in general. That's it. That's all I seen. But I've clearly seen a lot of other videos where they separate talking about a black man deleting another black woman. They had a whole video talking about it, had a whole show talking about it. I even seen them hop on panels. They had a whole 10 panel of nothing but women and a few beta males up there to support them talking about it.
Beta!
Sure did. I seen that. But what they saying is true.
And all that kind of
he dismembered the body, and John Jay, they're still looking for her body parts. They only found a few of them.
And this ain't the first, like you brought out, Red. This ain't the first time this fool done this. Please, yeah, you doing that to a person, you done it before. I'm just, that's just the reality of that. But I mean, it's sad, but hopefully, I try to tell my nieces all the time, I was like, look, you better vet. And that white, black, or whatever the man you dealing with, just vet the dude. Talk to him, man. You don't be going back to his crib as soon as you meet him. And I wonder.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that is the point that I made as well too. And I'm still going to say that till this day. I am. I'm saying that to this day. That is why it's very important for y'all to vet each other out. Period. You shouldn't be in such a hurry that for a women point of view, right? Sometimes they be such in a hurry to get taken off the shelf. They be such in a hurry that they want to get this fairy tale wedding that they just skip the very first important thing that you need to do, which is vet. And when I say vet, once again, I'm not talking about just asking general questions. What's your favorite color? What kind of food do you love to eat? So do I. No. How many people you have in your family? So do I. What's your religion preference? So do I. No, that's not vetting. Them are common questions that everybody could ask. Matter of fact, them type of questions you shouldn't even have to ask. You'll discover by getting to know them. When I'm talking about vetting, I'm talking about asking the hard, challenging questions to literally trigger that person just to see where their mind is at. Ask them challenging questions about dating, relationships. Ask them questions about, hey, when you was on growing up, right, did your daddy beat your mama? Say some ask tough questions like that. Did your daddy beat your mama when you was little? And see how they respond to that. Ask a woman, hey, how many mans did you want to smash within a week prior before meeting me? Them type of question that you need to ask because you need to know. You need to know. Well, what is your mindset on women? Do you be sitting up here listening to these type of YouTube channels where they telling you that all women are toxic and stuff? What's the name of these channels you be listening to? They're the type of tough questions that you need to be asking people. So you can dive into their mind, dive into their psyche to see where they really at. When you ask them tough questions and they get triggered by it and they be getting mad by it, then you know where they at. And you know to scratch them off and keep moving. Instead of this favorite color bull crap and do you love me, I love you, circle yes and no bull crap. I'm just saying.
Because of the age difference, was this some type of sugar baby type deal? A lot of these young black girls be on that, thinking they're going to get something out the dude or whatever. And then,
hey, they've been listening to these divested videos. Get you a zaddy that's older. He going to take care of you. and and all this. And by her being 19, you know she been listening to those videos. Because why else would she meet up with a weirdo like that? You know she been listening to these divester videos.
Yeah, it's sad, man.
And that's a final point that on Red and them made too, is that they said, look, this girl is 19 years old. Why would she have that mentality to literally sit up her meet with a man who is almost 3 times her age? First of all, why would you do that? And second of all, when you seen this dude, right, you could tell by this dude appearance that this dude is a beta.
Beta.
You could tell just by looking at him that something was off with this dude. You could tell, but yet it's still just like the other young lady who's talking earlier, and it was a reason why I play her video is because in the end she said that her parents taught her to be this gullible person, this likable person, to find something to like in people. Sometimes the proof is in the pudding. Sometimes if it's obvious, baby, then it's obvious, baby. I'm just saying. If it's obvious, baby, then it's obvious. You don't need to find out even more about it. If it's obvious, it's obvious. It is what it is. It is what it is. But let's go even deeper to this. Let's understand why the men are feeling the way they feeling. Right?
I'm sorry, I've been out of the loop for a few days, so I'm just not talking about a lot of topics today. This was fucked up. This was tragic, especially for this to happen to a 19-year-old the way it did. So walk into this man's house, never to leave out again. This was fucked up. And there's everything is on this dude. Okay? Now, there are some things I want to speak about, though. One, I clearly blame this on divestors and swirlers. And I'm going to explain why. So you get the women that come on here who are all day about the white man's ice is colder and better. And then these black women run out, jump with the first white man, and shit like this happens. Because you got to convince that it's going to be that much better. You don't properly vet. And you make, unfortunately, careless mistakes. All we hear about is when you're dating a black man, he's got to do all of this stuff. He has to do, he's got to spend $500 on dinner. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. And you're still not going home with him. We have a case here of a black woman on a young girl whose life ended so quickly, so soon. First date with this dude, she goes to his house. Shit. First date, she goes to his house. No vetting, no figuring out, getting to know anybody, any way, shape, or form like you would with a black person, black man. And this shit happens.
And listen, once again, listen to the point that he's making. You could tell that it's a difference between it. You can obviously tell. You could tell based on the videos that I previously showed you with these women who's saying this right. That once again, they'll sit up here and literally will quiz a black man. They will. And when they quiz them, they be asking all the wrong questions anyway. But they'll literally sit up here quiz this dude. But when it comes to a white man, they don't quiz them at all. They just automatically assume that this dude is right. But white is not right. I'm telling y'all. And I don't mean that in a racist way, but I'm just saying white is not right. He deserves the same treatment as you do with any other type of man, because at the end of the day, that dude is a man. It don't matter about his race. And that's why these men are coming forward and say that. Now, I know that this particular stream, even though this thing tragically happened to this young lady, I know that this particular stream can be very triggering. I know it can also be a hard pill to swallow as well too. I understand that. But we need to have these conversations. We do. We need to have these conversations. We really do. Because I said this before, and I'm saying this again about the sisterhood. The sisterhood have a problem. They have a problem. They have a problem with holding each other accountable for their own behaviors. The sisterhood. But yet it's still, they want us men to hold each other, the brothers. They want us to hold the brothers accountable for our behavior, which we do. Which we do. But when it comes to the sisterhood do not hold y'all fellow sisters accountable for y'all behavior. Y'all let it ride. Or y'all say these famous words, it is not my problem. I don't care about that big. That's what y'all say. That's honestly what y'all say. So that is a problem. That is a huge problem on y'all. I asked this before, and yet and still, no woman, regardless if you're a modern day woman or not, have not been able to answer this question. I asked this question. I said this. I said, hey, do y'all have mentorship programs where you mentor your sisters? Do y'all do that? Overwhelmingly, all of them say no, because they feel like that they don't need to. The reason why they feel like they don't need to is because they feel like that their behavior is acceptable. But they feel like that men behavior is acceptable, and we need mentorship programs. So you see how the double standard plays in a situation. You see that. And you see where the argument is coming from for us, the men. Why they're saying what they're saying about this situation. But let's continue.
Again, these swirlers and divestors have this idealized vision of what white men are, and they're 99 miles away from right. 9 times out of 10. Y'all let y'all guard down. Y'all make reckless mistakes in following this pattern. And then we're not even going to talk about these dating app shit. I mean, y'all notice that this isn't on the news like you would hear other stuff because there's money involved. The apps like Tinder, they make a lot of fucking money. So to sit up there and put this out there, the press putting this out there, you're hurting somebody's pockets. You're going into somebody's pockets. You're actually going to the pockets, and they don't want y'all to know about this. That's why it's not being pushed like it is. I mean, it's being pushed on social media, but that's it. It stops right there for the most part. You might get some local news channels, nothing nationwide, because this is a big fucking thing. This is a thing that the fucking monster did this to this 19-year-old girl.
Absolutely.
It's fucking tragic. It is. But ladies, if y'all gonna really sit up here and do this divest thing, at least men are men. It doesn't matter what race they are. Hell, if you...
Once again, and this is another man who's saying this, matter of fact, this is another black man who's saying this to y'all that, look, men are men, period. Men are men, period, and y'all need to vet us out. Y'all do. Because even us as men, we understand that you have them betas.
Beta!
We know they're out there. Because like I say, we be out here mentoring. We really do. We be out here putting the work, be trying to mentor these dudes. But these dudes here, sometimes they just be out of there.
Beta Bill! Are you close to your father? Not really. Does he even return your call? How?
It be hard, but we do. We do be putting in that work.
Ever go to Twitter and you look at some of these posts from white men, what shocked me, if you look at these Eastern Indian men, if y'all see the shit they do, y'all will have a whole different outlook on how you choose your men. How to vet, I won't say how to choose men, how to vet those that you are interested in. So stuff like this doesn't happen. And at the end of the day, he did this, nobody else. But this is something that could have been avoided completely. Common sense, well, I won't even say common sense. just using common sense. That's the only way I can come up with. Just using that would have avoided this. And I know nobody wants to hear this right now because some of you will be in your feelings, think about the whole thing. But yeah, at the end of the day, ladies, use common sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. Once again, I know that this is one of them tough conversations, right? But this conversation needs to be had for real. It really do. It really do. We need to have these type of conversations because there are many women out there who have this mindset thinking that as long as I go to a white zaddy, then it's good. Relationship's gonna be perfect. Peaches and cream. Nope. Because once again, men is men. And we can say that men, we can honestly say that men are men and there are men out there who do horrendous things. And here's another thing too, is that we would sit up here and literally do shows and everything, talk about these dudes as well too. We have no problem with doing that. But when it comes to the sisterhood, I've seen it a lot. When it comes to the sisterhood, y'all don't want to hold y'all sisters accountable because y'all feel like it's not y'all business. But it's neither here nor there.
All right. What I want to talk about today is how divestors / black feminists use the same arguments as white supremacists. You see, back in the time of slavery, when the slaves were being free, white men have always used this false propaganda to paint the narrative that black men are lazy. They sit around, they drink, they eat watermelon, whatever, and they don't produce nothing. What do you hear nowadays when it comes to black feminists / black swirlers arguments against black men? Oh, black men don't do anything. They're not producing. They ain't accomplishing nothing. Same argument. Another thing too, right? Back in the times of slavery, the slave master always called the black man boy. He called him a boy. Now, what do you hear a lot of these women use when they're mad at you? Boy, bye. You could be older than their grandmother, and
they use boy, bye. How many of y'all want to use that too? Boy, bye.
What?
Boy, bye.
They'll call you a boy, as if that's okay. That's a great sign of disrespect, by the way. You called a grown man boy, but yet when you trying to check them on that, or if you call them a girl, they'll be upset and then they'll say, "Oh, I'm a black woman." Okay, as opposed to the fact, like, if you're not important as a black man. That's another thing. Okay, another argument is they like to use fake stats. They like to say stuff like, okay, well, black men off black women every 5 seconds. The white supremacists, they like to use those kind of fake stats too to try to show that black men are violent. It's the same thing. They want to paint the narrative that black men are violent. Same arguments. Another argument, okay? After you debunk their arguments, when they ain't got an argument for you, what do a lot of these swirl divestor black feminists say?
That they use shame, guilt, and the need to be right. But continue, black man.
Oh, you hate women as a way to shield themselves under the umbrella of all women, like if they're the representation of all women. No, they're not. You represent a certain aspect of women, okay? You don't represent all women, okay? That's what they do. What happens when you debunk a racist, okay? He's gonna say, you know what? You hate white people, as opposed to, a certain section of white people. You see, it's the same arguments. They run the same game. And then what happens when the black passport bros, when they started leaving and such? You got shamed for trying to leave. What happened in the time of slavery when the black slaves were being free? They already hated the slaves, but they hated the fact that slaves were being free. So what they do? They hated, and they did everything in their power to try to kill or trying to lock slaves up. Same game, okay? It's the same game they're playing. Another talking point is this too. Whenever a black man gets offed by a white police officer or such, you hear black feminists / divestors celebrating, marking the black man, I've even posted it on my page of a video of divestors saying that black men deserve to be in a coffin. There's other videos of them celebrating, and they find it sexy that black men get killed by white cops. So what do white supremacists do when black men get killed? They're trying to justify it, and they basically celebrate. Since slavery, they've been celebrating black men get killed. Same game. Okay? So I know there's more talking points, but this should be suffice for now. Something for you to reflect on, just to enlighten you. Keep that in mind.
Now, one thing that I want to clarify too, that what he was saying is this: when we speak about slavery and all this stuff, right? I want y'all to understand about the patriarchal system. All right. Matter of fact, I also did a show talking about that. I did a whole series talking about the patriarchal system and how the way it affected the black community as a whole. But I'm gonna give you the short summary of what I was saying. All right. This country foundation is based on the patriarchal system. Okay. That patriarchal system is based on white people. When we say white people, based on white supremacy. Okay. That's the whole point of the patriarchal system. During the times when our ancestor was in slavery, right? Our ancestor was under a totally different patriarchal system than the white supremacy patriarchal system in this country. You were. But what ended up happening was that the black man was what they call buck beating, whatever you call that, buck breaking or whatever, right? But in other words, that the black men, our black ancestors, were indoctrinated. Our black ancestors was indoctrinated to be part of the white supremacy patriarchal system. That's what happened. Plus, the women, the slave women that was there, was also indoctrinated into the white supremacy patriarchal system. The white slave masters were treating their women on the same level as the slave women. They was beating their wives. They was doing all these different horrendous things to their wives. These same dudes, these same white zaddies that y'all talking about, they was doing the same exact thing, doing all this horrific thing. If their wife wasn't in line with them, they beating them, or they probably butchered them, they probably unalived them, did all these kind of horrendous things to them. This is the reason why these same type of white women had created what is known as the feminist movement. They created the first wave of the feminist movement, but the first wave of the feminist movement didn't get pushed because the patriarchal system was literally the law of the land. And the women of that time did not have the right to vote out their law. When they was trying to get the right to vote, they was trying to vote out that patriarchal system law. That's the main focus of that. They didn't get enough push on that, right? So guess what they did? They ended up incorporating civil rights or civil liberties, right? By incorporating what? Black women. They started talking to the black women slaves and started telling them like, hey, we both was in the same fight. Y'all want to be free from this corrupt slave master, right? We want to be free from this corrupt slave master. So why don't we team up together and push this movement? But guess what? Once again, I stated earlier that the men store being bidden or whatever you want to call that, right, or indoctrinated into the patriarchal system. So these same type of men didn't want to go with what the white women were saying. So they end up on getting their women, the black women, on board. And guess what the black women did? They started manipulating the black men into being part of this movement. So that's why you have people like, I believe, Booker T. Washington, different people like that who became part of the movement. And so it went from the first wave to the second wave and to the third wave, right? Where feminism was being pushed right now. And now we're currently in the fourth and fifth wave of the feminist movement. Now, I'm saying all of this is because this whole patriarchal system is the reason why the behavior is existing the way it is right now, especially in our black community, because our black communities wasn't like that, because we was under a different patriarchal system where back in that time, the man understood that their women were to be treated as queens because we came out before we got taken by slaves, right? Before we got taken by slaves, we knew and understood that we was a part of a dynasty. We knew that our black women were queens. We knew that we was kings before we ended up getting sold out and got put into slavery and eventually got shipped over into this land. We knew that. So we was already under a different patriarchal system where we was treating each other with respect. Feminism didn't even exist with us back then. But when we end up migrating and start integrating into this land, law of this land, we end up integrating into this current patriarchal system. And so now this is what's causing the separation between us and what we call gender wars. Now, that's what's happening. And so that's the reason why I wanted to clarify what this young man was saying. Everything he was saying, I agree with, but I wanted y'all to understand the reason and why it is what it is. Okay? That's the reason why. But let's continue, y'all.
First off, rest in peace to Sade Robinson. And y'all better believe that that boy Max Anderson, he gonna get everything that he deserved when he get locked up. You better believe that. But I got another question for black people. How come y'all comments never match up with how the comment section would look if a black man was dating a white woman and was unalived by that white woman? Why the comment sections never match up? Because the sister Sade, she was dating a white man. The man that she was dating unalived her. When I check the comment section of the videos, I don't see not one black person telling black women that's why you shouldn't date outside your race. Why is that something that y'all just tell men, but not black women? Like, when I check the comment section, when it's a black man getting offed, when he's dating outside his race, it's always he's and ha-has. Oh, they want to go over there. He deserved it. Oh, we love that for them. We love that for him. Why y'all comment section never match up when it's a black woman dating outside her race? Like,
and what he's saying is true, because I witnessed it myself. I went over to TikTok and went over to these Divestors channels over there, and they are literally saying that. Matter of fact, Cynthia G, her channel literally got deleted because she was up here saying this whole crazy rhetoric. I'm just saying.
I really need to know.
But we almost done with the show, y'all. We almost done. So today on the show, we've been investigating this thing. We've been investigating why the black manosphere and the red pill community feel the way that they feel about the Sade Robinson story. Why they feel that they blame her deletion on these divestor women. So far, everything that they're saying, that they're proving their case that these divesting women, the reason why they divesting is because they have this certain disdain for black men, preferably toxic black men. And so they end up on grouping all black men, myself and every other black man, your sons and everything. They group every black man into this one bucket, into this one category, saying that all of us is just toxic and violent. We just a ticket time bomb away from deleting black women and saying all these different things. So they trying to show y'all the truth behind this, that it don't have nothing to do with race, but it has solely to do with that individual person as being a man, period. Now, notice that every man who has stepped up and said something about this, right, notice that they never was being disrespectful to the situation that happened to Sade. They never said, up that bitch, she deserved what she got him. They never said that. It never came out of none of their mouth, including me. It never came out of none of the men mouth who have spoke tonight. But in these other said communities, like I say, they say it all the time. I mentioned about Cynthia G. She said it all the time. That's why her channel got deleted. She would say this thing all the time, and other women who are part of this Divestor community say this all the time. They be totally disrespectful, but we, on the other hand, we're being as respectful as possible. But we're being real about it as well, too. We're being absolutely real about it. I want y'all to listen to this young lady, and this is going to be the final driving point of this particular conversation, all right? And after we get through listening to this young lady, I want y'all to, those of y'all who are listening right now, especially the women who are listening right now, I want y'all to just really think about it and just really gravitate to what she said. And also, I also want y'all to imagine while she having this conversation, imagine this is your father, whether he's living or not. Imagine if this is your brother or your sons or your uncles or any type of these men that you really do care about, and you know that they are stand-up good guys. I want y'all to hear this, okay?
Hearing that women have said, like black women have said, like, I'm done with black men. It's obviously it saddens me because I look at my father and my brother and I'm like, not all black men are trash. And so it's like you've given up when you could very well meet that one black man, because they're still out there. Not all black men, no.
Listen to what she said. Listen to what she said. We're going to play it one more time. Listen to her.
Hearing that women have said, like black women have said, like, I'm done with black men. It's obviously it saddens me because I look at my father and my brother and I'm like, not all black men are trash. And so it's like you've given up when you could very well meet that one black man, because they're still out there. Not all black men, no.
I want y'all to understand this, okay? Me as a not only a black man, but as a black father, I have sons. I am doing my very best, to the very best of my ability, to raise up my sons to be good quality men for women when they get out into the dating market and they decide to date, not only date, but to become married. I'm raising my sons up to be stand-up guys to the best of my ability. I really am. I'm not the only father out here who's doing that. There are many other fathers out here doing the same exact thing for their sons. They are. I want y'all to understand that I honestly be worrying about my sons, for real. I do. The reason why I be worrying about them and other men's sons as well too is because on this channel, I'll be talking to y'all a lot about the modern day woman and about the modern day woman behavior, not because I'm this sexist dude or I hate women. No, I don't hate women. I love women, especially black women as well too. But I know that this type of toxic behavior is out there with these modern day women, and I know that there are beta males that are out there as well too. I sometimes I fear that my sons, my boys, or one other men boys as well too, they end up becoming men and they end up meeting these old toxic women, these toxic modern day women, all because they made the choice to choose to deal with a beta male, deal with these old beta male men.
Beta!
Because these other men wasn't in their life to raise them. Because they mothers were sitting up here raising them to literally be a mama's boy. And you know what it is about being a mama's boy? Basically, these same type of women sitting up here raising their sons to be their husbands. That's pretty much what they are. They literally grooming their sons to be their husband. Is what they're doing. But instead, when he don't have that masculine energy there or male figure there, that's when he end up becoming the beta male. That's when he become a beta male. And so once again, me and other men out there, we're doing our best to raise our sons up so y'all can have these type of quality men that y'all looking for. So I can have these quality men that y'all looking for, but, and let me be real with y'all, be really real with y'all. Even though we're doing it right, we cannot do this by ourselves. We cannot. We cannot do this by ourselves, ladies. That's why I made it a point to y'all that you should be your sister keepers. You should be wanting to raise your daughters up in the same way to where they can be good quality women, where you teach them how to properly vet out these men. Just like we're doing our best as fathers to teach our sons to vet out the right woman. You should be teaching your daughters to do the same exact thing. You shouldn't be teaching your daughters to have a hot girl summer. We shouldn't be teaching our sons to sit up here and go smash and pass every little of these trick ass 3 or 4s out there. We should be holding our children to the highest standards possible because we know that they're going to be the next generation to carry this thing on. But it's up to us as parents to teach our children the truth. This is the reason why I talk about this on this channel, to be real with y'all. Because on this channel, we hold each other accountable. Even though we do it in an entertaining way, we hold each other accountable. Everybody who listens to me right now, I hold you accountable to the highest level possible. And I expect for you to hold me accountable the same exact way. I do. Because when it's all said and done, I know a lot of y'all, including myself, it's going to be a point in time where we no longer going to exist in this world. And we got to leave it up to the next generation. Do y'all really want our next generation and next generation after that to be so corrupt and toxic where they divested from each other doing all this crazy ass stuff? Do you really want that for them? Or do you want them to be happy? You want them to be happy and wholesome and be in great relationships where they have a high social economical status. Do you really want that for them? Or do you want to continue in this toxic behavior? I mean, it's time for us to really, really make a choice, especially us as adults. We got to start making a choice. We got to start making a choice to not only invest into not only ourselves, but we got to invest into our generations too. Let's say that you don't have children. Let's say that you have either nieces or nephews. Same thing. It's time for us to really invest into them and really pour our heart out and giving them the truth. regardless of how the way they feel, regardless of how society deem it the way that it need to be. But the one way it's going to change is for us to change as adults right now. And that's the whole point of this show and all the rest of the shows that I do. Time for us to change, y'all, and get it together. One last thing I want to share with y'all tonight, and we're going to be done. I want to share this last video with y'all. This last video is actually going to be a segue into a whole nother topic that I believe that we need to we need to deal with, especially as Black people. Let's listen to this, all right? Constance, I see you. What's up, Bookie? What up, Bookie? Constance up here messing with me. What up, Bookie?
What?
All right, so let me share this last video with y'all, and this is going to be the beginning of a next topic that we're going to talk about, all right? And I want y'all to listen to this. This is a parody, all right? I don't know if y'all familiar with the movie Jungle Fever. This is a parody of that, but this particular parody scene is so powerful that we're going to have a conversation about this, all right? Because I believe this conversation is well needed. It's kind of outdated, and we need to want to revisit this again, all right? So let's hear it.
I was always the darkest one in my class, and I know you know what I'm talking about. All the guys ran after the light-skinned girls with long, straight hair, and that left me out. And it's that same kind of thinking that leaves us out when it comes to white women. Now, back in the day, brothers would get sisters that looked like you, Drew, and you, Vera, you know? But now, light skin ain't even good enough. The whole thing, everything that we've been doing, and everything in the society, we just keep on doing the same thing over and over and over.
Yes.
Keep on telling ourselves, negating ourselves, our own value. Look at the brothers who are successful. Look at them. Most of the brothers who have made it got white women on their arms. Okay? In order to go up that little ladder to success, seems like you got to have Miss Thing on your arm. Their responsibility level isn't the same as ours.
It's not a question of responsibility, it's just a fundamental disrespect.
Disrespect
for women.
Did y'all listen closely to this conversation? Did y'all listen closely to it? On the next show that we're going to want to talk about, y'all, we're going to talk about this thing about colorism, okay? We're going to dive into this about colorism. We're going to hold us brothers accountable for this colorism that is happening right now. What I mean by colorism is not only dealing with race, where it's, we was talking about divesting earlier, right? But colorism is actually dealing with our own race as well, too, where we have this thing where us men will go after the lighter shade of Black woman instead of the darker shade. And it could be vice versa. I see women kind of do the same thing where they'll go, back in the day in the 80s and 90s, women would go out the light-skinned dudes because they called the light-skinned dudes pretty boys and they was more attractive. But now in this modern day, it in reverse. Instead of going after the light-skinned dudes, now they're going after the dark-skinned dudes. So we're going to talk about colorism, y'all. We're going to talk about colorism and how the way it affects us mentally. We're gonna dive into where this thing really came from for real. This colorism thing came from, and why we behave the way that we behave with each other. And it's going to be the whole focal point of why our modern day Black women believe in divesting. We're gonna dive so deep into this, y'all. Okay. We're going to dive into this, y'all. We're going to understand this on this next show. And I'm put this show together for y'all. I already got some information right now, but it's going to be a lot of information that I want to cover on this, all right? And when I cover this information, it's not to be funny. It's not to be, racist or anything like that. I'm just going to be truthful about it, all right? So that's going to be our next episode. We're going to dive into this colorism thing as well, too. And all the stuff that I've been talking about is going to make sense. Okay. So appreciate y'all want to tune in to the stream today. Appreciate everybody who came in, who hit the like button. It helps out the channel a whole lot. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yes. I'm like I always. I hope that y'all got something out of this episode that challenged you to think, because that's the whole point of why I do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Even though I entertain y'all, but also I be wanting y'all to get the overall message to what I'm talking about as well too, because I want y'all to learn. I want y'all to get this. I love doing thought-provoking content. You know what I'm saying? That can be entertaining as well too. That's the whole point of it. So I hope that y'all got some things out of this. Those of y'all who are coming in, if you didn't catch the beginning of this, by all means, catch the beginning of the stream so you can understand where I am coming from with this particular topic. Okay. Last but not least, appreciate everybody who are tuning in. Abria, thank you so much for pulling up and being on part of the conversation. Thank you. Appreciate that a whole lot. Thank you. Kenya. I see you pulled up in the chat. Thank you so much for pulling up as well, too. Thank you. Thank you. And Kenya already ready. She already saying, Urban, I just want to let you know that white men actually prefer darker black women. Shoot.
That's bullshit.
But we're going to dive deeper into it, Kenya. We're going to dive deeper into it, all right? We're going to dive deeper into it. Then we also got Constance. Appreciate you, Constance, like always, pulling up. Thank you. Thank you so much. And everybody else who are watching in the bushes, like I always appreciate y'all, and everyone who going to catch the replay. I appreciate y'all as well, too. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. So, appreciate it. So, other than that, y'all have a really, really great night. Those of y'all who did catch all the show, make sure you go back and watch it in the beginning. All right. So other than that, y'all be safe, y'all, and I'll see y'all again on the next episode. Peace out, y'all. And y'all also be safe out in real life in the YouTube streets.